Brick Lane in East London, where curry houses and trendy cafes jostle for space. It's an area made famous by London's Bangladeshi community. Many Bangladeshis arrived here in large numbers in the 1970s. They settled and prospered. But generations on, large gaps in living standards still exist between different ethnic communities living in Britain. The research group, the Resolution Foundation, found that the median disposable income for Bangladeshi households is 35% lower than for white British households. Pakistani households typically have 34% less disposable income, while for black African households it's 22% less. And when housing costs are taken into account, these gaps are even wider, as large as 44% between white British and Bangladeshi households. Researchers say the disparity has a lot to do with female employment within the family. In socially conservative Pakistani and Bangladeshi households, significantly fewer women are employed compared with white households. British Bangladeshi author AJMAL MANSROOR also believes discrimination has a major role to play.
You're more likely to get a job interview if you have Anglo-Saxon name than a Muslim name. Government knows this. Various think tanks have reported it, and this has been a terrible indictment of our government's failure, in my view, to rid our community of institutional failures, institutional racism.
But it's not all bad news. The same research shows that incomes in Pakistani, Bangladeshi and black households has been growing rapidly in recent years, helped by more and more women going out to work. But it could be many more years before we start to see a significant reduction in the gap between different ethnic communities here. More people at work and paying tax is also better for the economy, especially as the UK prepares to leave the EU.
Given where we are, start of Brexit, thinking about what's going to happen to the future of the country, how we manage that change. I think looking at the existing inequalities and saying, what can we do? What are the things that we want to try and tackle as we move into this new period for Britain? I think now's the right time.
The nation's labour market is changing. As it does, it's hoped the living standards of the country's poorest communities will also change for the better. Neave, Al Jazeera, London.